Welcome back, everybody, to some more Southampton, and today we bring you games against West Brom and Bournemouth. Not in that order, though. Bournemouth and then West Brom. So we're going with the same lineup, same shape, and all of that stuff. Couple of things to point out, though. First of all, I have created sort of a more possession-based formation on a backup just to get that trained up, because Lamina is one of our better players, and he doesn't really fit this system. So if maybe we do get more technical players, we can switch to this and they will already be familiar with it. That's just sort of what I'm thinking behind it. We still have the diamond obviously being trained as well. So if we do need to change things up, they'll be ready to do that. And the other thing is I've sort of been going through the squad and just trying to think like whether I want to keep each player for the long term. And I've basically broke the squad down into 3 groups. So you've got the group of players who are in their prime and can really elevate us to that next level. So that's players like Dusan Tadic, Gabbiadini, Ryan Bertrand. The players who are really, really good, basically, and already in their prime. Then you've got the players who are sort of still young, still improving, and are still performing at a good level. And this is the players like Catrone, James Ward-Prowse, and the 2 centre-halves. But then you've got sort of this third group, which is the players who are good, but they're not great and they're unlikely to improve. And I think this is sort of the thing where it gets hard to like say we need to replace these players because they're playing well, but they're not going to get any better and they're not going to push us forward to that next level. And that's players sort of like Romeu, Cedric, Shane Long, who's currently on the bench, and Scott Sinclair to an extent, even though I've just signed him. Like, he was sort of signed to be more of a rotation option as opposed to a permanent starter. So there may come a time in the very near future where we do look and go, can we get a better left winger? Can we get a better right back? A better defensive midfielder? And obviously, like I just mentioned, Lamina, a very good player, would likely fit into that first category. So if we can get players to complement a more possession-based system, can we maybe switch to that? And that way incorporate him into the team. And then you've got Fraser Forster, who's just not good enough. He will be being replaced soon, I hope. I've had a quick look around. I've been trying to move a couple of players on in the January as well as bring a couple in. The issue is just no one really wants to come to us. We're just not drawing players that would actually make our team any better. But we're going to submit this here then for this Bournemouth game, and hopefully this can be the day where we pick up 6 points. It's doable. It's certainly possible. There is a slight problem though. The problem is Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson is amazing on this game. There's no other way to put it. He's incredible. Also, Aki's got a different background on his picture. And Hindman. That's weird. But let's just kick off here then. Are we the favourites? We owe Bournemouth after what happened. Obviously, they beat us in the cup, knocking us out of that. So we do owe Bournemouth. A few players reacted positively. So it's better than what we normally get. I've just noticed there's a strange black bar here. Oh, I clicked it and an advert came up. I'm not entirely sure what this is. Sorry if it's in the way of anything. Oh, we paused. Yeah, sorry if I don't know why it's there. I don't know what it's doing. Hopefully it goes away. It's weird. Oh, it's gone. As they have a corner there, and King nods it across, and Aki just thumps it into the net. I mean, poor defensively. We really need to work on our defensive positioning from set pieces. I think we've conceded a lot from them this season. And yeah, King's completely unmarked, and then Aki again unmarked for the finish. It's not good. Not good enough indeed, and it puts us 1-0 down quite early on, which now puts the game at a bit of an uphill struggle. We do have an attack here though. Scott Sinclair knocks it back to Dusan Tadic, and if we can work this, we may be able to get in as Scott Sinclair makes a run, but can't find the strike into the net. Begovic with the save. And now they have another corner, which is terrifying, and it's scarily repetitive of the first, but Bertrand puts in a good tackle. And Callum Wilson manages to head past Fraser Forster. Weak attempt at a save, weak attempt at a header by Cedric. It's just not good enough. This is an angle. Again though, you see here, this man unmarked. I mentioned this last episode. He's just in so much space. Frustrating, really. Half time coming around then, and we've only had that one attack from Scott Sinclair, but it does look like there'll be a highlight before the half. Dusan Tadic now on the ball. Can we grab a late goal? Gabbiadini is on it, puts it just over the bar. It's unfortunate. Something's not working here, and I can't quite figure out what it is. Something does need to change, though. Let's go to the tactics here. And I think we're just going to stick with it, you know. They are coming at us quite a bit. I think we are just going to stick with it. I didn't do a team talk. That's a mistake. Come on then, Fraser Forster on the ball. Can we maybe try to pick something out? No. Callum Wilson's on the left wing. He gives it to Fraser. Sedgwick with a very good challenge. Love that. We're playing it around in our defence. I'm not overly sure this is the right idea. Bertrand just holds the ball for a second there as Ward-Prowse pushes forward. Ugh. Our passing is awful. It just goes everywhere. Our attacking movement's not good. Our defensive for set piece isn't good. And I don't know what to train. Nothing's good. I don't know how we're 8th. As they go 3-0 up, Ryan Fraser with the goal. And feels like sometimes we have games like the Leicester game last episode, right? Where we go out, it's calm for the first half, and then we turn it on and we absolutely batter them. And then we have games like this, where we just get turned over, or like Crystal Palace would be another good example, where we just seem unable to do anything. And I'm not quite sure what's causing the difference between the two. What I am going to do, though, is there's no point having a defensive midfielder when you're 3-0 down. We need to go more attacking, if anything, which is what we are going to do here. Dusan Tadic has made a lot of mistakes. I'm just not sure Stephen Davies would be any better, is sort of the issue. So we are going to bring on Lamina, and we're trying to control the game a bit more, go a bit more attacking, I think. Well, we need to attack, right? Like, we're 3-0 down. Okay, so we have a chance here. Delete on the free kick. Can we try and work something, please? I just want to not lose by 3. That doesn't mean I want to lose by 4. It's going to make me lose by 4, isn't it? Joshua King then pushing forward, and these two runners are in so much space. Jordan Ibe gets the ball on the right wing, crosses it in. Callum Wilson hits the bar, and we got away with that one very luckily. Time ticking away here then, and I guess I have to change something. I'm just not sure what's going to work. Let's bring on Shane Long as a defensive forward on support. Just try and get a runner onto the balls. Gabbiadini's brought down there, but it was a perfect tackle apparently. Not sure why Gabbiadini ended up on the floor then. But they push forward again, and this has been, unarguably, a poor performance from us. As they push forward again, Joshua King goes for the shot, saved by Fraser Forster. I'm not quite sure what we did wrong. Ward-Prowse hits the free kick, and it's headed clear. We just seem unable to sort of do anything in this type of game. Maybe we needed to go more possession-based early. Scott Sinclair on the ball here, slides it across. Shane Long loses out on the shot. It's blocked by the defender, and one more highlight before the game ends. Can it be in our favour? Can we pull one back? A consolation goal. They lump it forward to Joshua King, and words fail me. Just, you all saw it. I saw it. You saw it. So he's running, right? Forster just sort of taps the ball. 4-0, so we are going to lose by 4. No consolation goal, just an extra bit of padding for them. Scott Sinclair pushes forward here as the game's pretty much done. Gabbiadini strikes wide, and I think that should be full time. Yes, it is, and it's a 4-0 defeat to Bournemouth. I don't understand at the minute. Far from pleased, I think is the only way to put that. Not pleased at all with that result. So, I think I'm just going to go forward to the next game against West Brom and try and figure out if anything needs changing. Something needs changing, obviously. The result, most importantly. But I'll try and figure out what these changes are going to be, and then I'll bring you the game against West Brom in a couple of seconds. Welcome back, everybody, and we have made a couple of changes, or just the one actually. We've changed to this more possession-based system, and my thinking behind it is that against the teams that we maybe should be a bit better than, we should be trying to force them into mistakes rather than waiting for them to make mistakes. We should be using our ability on the ball to try and create something rather than waiting for their mistakes to create something for us. I think that's something that's harder to do against the better teams, but against a team like maybe West Brom or Bournemouth, which we just played, we should be trying to take control of the game and control the pace, control the tempo, and decide what's happening in the game, rather than waiting for them to mess up, if that makes sense. So we've brought Lamina in for Romeu. I don't feel like the defensive midfielder is going to be necessary, as silly as that sounds, having just lost 4-0. I mean, evidently didn't make a difference, so unless we would have lost 6-0 otherwise. We'll see. But we should be better than West Brom. I hope we're better than West Brom. They do have quite a decent defensive side here, so it's going to be a good test. You know, Krachowiak and Jakob, both more defensively minded midfielders, I think it's safe to say. And then a solid defence as well. Obviously, Johnny Evans, fantastic defender. And some good attacking players as well. Nasser Chadli especially. Definitely got a goal in him. So let's go for the team talk then. Let's say, go out there and give these fans their money's worth. Nothing. Very early highlight then. Goal kick from them. Myhill lumps it up. And can we win it back? Maybe Scott Sinclair does appear to be on the ball. Catrone plays it back to him. And he's on the wing here. Catrone tries to hit it in. It just goes over the bar. I stumbled over my words there. We do have a free kick though. James Ward-Prowse is going to hit it. And no. Doesn't come to anything. And they have potential to counter-attack now. We do appear to pounce on the ball though, Cedric on it, and hopefully we can create this into a chance of our own as Bertrand puts through a wonderful ball for Scott Sinclair, starting the counter-attack straight away, and Catrone just can't find the pass across. Drawing out this highlight, it's back and forth, it's back in their favour now, and they may be able to get the last chance after all, as we do win possession back, it's back in our favour. Gabbiadini pushes forward, gives it to Catrone, saved by Boaz Myhill. That was an interesting highlight that's going to carry on with a corner here. James Ward-Prowse is going to hit this in. And Lamina on the ball. He has a decent shot on him, but he chooses to just play it back. Ward-Prowse, can we find a cross? No, we're just going to play it low across the floor to Dusan Tadic and back to the defence. Restart the play, reset it. And maybe just try and get some of these players out of the box, get some space. As we play through Scott Sinclair, no, just can't quite get on the end of it. This highlight's never going to end. We're back in possession again. There we go. That was like a 4-minute long highlight. It's going on forever. Oh, that's not good. Scott Sinclair's just gone off injured. And it's a forced substitution, so Nathan Redmond, the natural replacement, is going to make way. Let's bring him on. Let's see what we can do. Never nice to have an injury like that, especially on a player you've just signed. It's frustrating. They have a corner here then. Brunt puts it in and they score. Worth noting we've been training defensive set pieces. No difference. Solomon Rondon puts it away. Again, I think it was Dawson who the corner went to. Completely unmarked. Brunt crosses it in and look, there's just nobody on him. That's awful. Absolutely shocking. I mean, I guess that's what you get when I've sort of gone for more technical defenders. They're not as good on the mental attributes, right? They're both quite young. So they're not quite developed in terms of things like their positioning and stuff like that. So it's going to cost us, I guess, in situations like that, especially on set pieces. Which is unfortunate, but this highlight is going on and Chadli is on the ball and Fraser Forster is awful. Like, how did that go in? Not only was it near post, he should have saved it, but that was the dribbliest little shot I've ever seen in my life. Right, for starters, he's just sort of faffing around with the ball and nobody puts a tackle in. Like here, like, come on. And then it just... We've never picked up 0 points. Never. And now we're 2-0 down after losing the first game 4-0. Not a good situation to be in. Not good at all. Dusan Tadic on the ball. Can we get something before half-time? No, because it's their highlight. And they play through Morrison. Our defence is all over the place. Forced to save something, which is a miracle. And can we counter-attack here? Nathan Redmond, the substitute, on the ball. Nope, he gets challenged. Looks like we're going to tick over into half-time then. And it's not good, is it? Let's be honest. It's awful, is the words I would use. So, the injury to Scott Sinclair, not helpful, but more to the point, we're just being battered. Show me something else. They all look fired up or motivated, which I guess is something. It's better than a negative reaction, I guess. And they've brought on Jake Livermore for Krachowiak, which might open them up a little bit more. Krachowiak did have a bit of a knock, so might be the reason behind that change, as opposed to anything performance-based. But Lamina is really far forward here, actually, on that roaming playmaker role. He is roaming. That's definitely what he's doing. As we pass the ball around, they managed to get a clearance in, though. Now it's Rondon putting it up to Chadli. It looks like the highlight is going to be in their favour once again. The ball across is good, but they score. The ball across was decent. Bertrand cleared, but there was just a literal onslaught of their players running onto it. I don't really know what we could have done in... Like, it's just... I guess we needed that extra midfielder. Who is that? Hadet is so slow. But yeah, there's just about 4 of them in the box. Jakob gives it to Brunt, and it's an easy finish. Putting them 3-0 up. We've conceded 7 and not scored today. This isn't fun. This... it's just not really working. Dusan Tadic just picked up an injury as well. Let's get him off. He's been not his best. He wants to come off. Well, he has came off. His twisted knee, that's not a good sign. He could be out for a few weeks, actually, with that. This is poor. This is really poor. It looks like they've just sort of took their foot off the gas a bit and are now sitting back. We're going to go to this then. And try and hit them on a quick counter to just grab something. I just want to see a goal in our favour. Please. I came into this today so optimistic after that 3-0 win against Leicester. And we've just been smacked around. And this is going to make it 4. Nasir Chat, no, it's offside. It's free kick to us. Okay. At least it wasn't 4-0 again. Yet. We do have a bit of a knack for conceding in the last few seconds of the game. But it does look like this is going to tick over to full time. And not before they have one last attack though, as Chadley puts it forward to Solomon Rondon. Plays it out wide to Burke. I thought it was going to be Brunt for some reason. I don't know why. Caught me off guard. I saw the B and I'm like, it's Brunt. It's not Brunt. But we do maybe counter here. The game's done, isn't it? The game's over. This isn't even a highlight. This is just the end of the game. There we go. Right. I don't have words. That's 2 shocking performances. I think I'm going to give them a bit of a yell here, and then we're going to immediately leave the match and go and have a team talk and give us a yell again before this game gets... Scott Sinclair and Dusan Tadic both missed the game against Chelsea. Wonderful. That's the game we needed them out for. Chelsea. We'll win that one, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll beat Chelsea, we'll lose to Watford, we'll lose to Swansea, then we'll beat Arsenal. That's how this series is going so far. But that has taken a significant hit on our sort of run in the league. We are now in 9th. We are only 3 points behind... 4 points behind Bournemouth in 6th, which is where we started today. But we do need to, well, win games more than anything. That was underwhelming, to say the very least. But yeah, we're going to immediately go in and have a extended leave. No, where's the team talk meeting? Team talk meeting. Where's the team talk button? Dynamics? Team meeting. There we go. I just forgot where it was for a second. There we go. We've not played well at all, and I'm not the only one to think of that. Dusan Tadic, exactly the sort of reaction. We picked morale up a little bit. I think what's sort of taken an effect is a lot of players are complaining about lack of game time, and it's really sort of dragged down the atmosphere in the dressing room. Maybe that's had something to do with it. As you can see here, dressing room atmosphere is poor. We need to try and just string a few wins together. Again, the fact that we haven't had a run of form, it hasn't allowed us to build morale up from that, and then dressing room things bringing it down is going to bring morale down, and then that's going to affect performances on the pitch, and then you get battered 4-0 by Bournemouth and 3-0 by West Brom. Not ideal. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to do in terms of style. It's going to be difficult to go into these games with basically no Scott Sinclair or Dusan Tadic. Might have to be quite a significant shake-up. Might have to go quite defensive, try and hit them on the counter even harder than we already have been. I'm not sure. We will find out what I decide to go with in the next episode. Thank you all very much for watching. If you have any feedback, please leave it in the comments below. And I will catch you all tomorrow for the games against Chelsea and Watford. Have a great day. Good night.